It is time for picks and bans for this game number 2. Denial Esports, once again, will be on the order side. Cognitive Gaming will be on, well, that's the chaos side, guys.
You
guys should know that by now.
So they don't switch sides. Both teams elect. It seems like Denial likes blue just for how early the game is. Cog is really liking the counter pick in solo. Really want to get Meerkat ahead. No surprise, same bans coming out. A targeted ban against Mesa's Isis. He was able to play fantastically with Giannis, though, so he has other gods in his god pool. They do not want him to get that Isis, though. They do not want him to snowball. After that, Cirquet taken out by Denial. Last ban going to come through here. Is it going to be one of the top supports is the question mark. Yes, it is.
Bye-bye, Sylvanas.
So they're forcing Denial into basically an Athena or get pick here. I think Denial's going to run
which isn't a bad idea. They could elect to take the Athena. Or we could see them just decide the first pick Neath.
Last time they went Geb, and then immediately Cog responded with Neath Athena. The question is Cog going to respond with Neath Athena again?
Why
no, Xbalanque. They're like, Bronx, you're not getting that.
Why is Geb being such a high priority here for Denial? As soon as you see the Geb, does this just mean that we should expect to see the Cabrakan and have this super late game based team comp?
It's probably because they want to run duo supports or multiple warriors, but Geb seems to be the key to them. They really want Shadow Q to have that shield and peel potential.
He's damn good with it.
It is not really Shadow Q's job to initiate. I don't know if you noticed, but Shadow Q's job is to play, or not to play, to defend.
Well, technically his job is actually to play, Kevin.
But it's to protect. That is his job. Xing was the initiator last game. Baskin Robin was a frontline initiator. He didn't really peel either. Yep. And Geb does a fantastic job of peeling for his team.
Well, they also have to make sure they get some damage in there as well, and that Agni will definitely help that cause. And plus, it's pretty easy with the Geb, and now you mix that in with the Cabrakan, and, well, you have to try to miss his meteors at this point.
You really do. But they're going to draft the Agni over the Giannis this time. I mean, they obviously want a similar team comp, but I think the key there was taking Agni away from Herwin.
Yeah.
He was able to get out a ton of damage, and once you get that Soul Reaver online, we saw it, he was able to do a ton of burst. It went too late for him to really do that.
For sure. And now the final pick here for Cognitive Gaming, rounding out Scylla.
Ooh, that's a little bit of a question mark for me.
What's... Okay, so you lose the Agni, so you don't have the escape, but you know you're going to be the main focus of Denial. So you go ahead and grab Scylla because she has Sentinel, and then you build Blink on her, but in what scenario, if you know you're going to get focused because of how important mid-game is Scylla better than Giannis?
I mean, the big thing is Sentinel versus Xing, right? If he locks you in his ultimate, if he locks you in Tectonic Rip, you can just Sentinel out. Agni, he dashes into a wall, and we saw that happen multiple times. Xing was able to time it perfectly. Herwin just half a step too late, or just really it was Xing playing perfectly more than anything. You're going to be able to Sentinel out, but the thing is, Scylla's going to get abused early to begin with against an Agni. On top of that, they're going to have a Cabrakan. Denial is going to steal their back harpies.
Red pot.
Red pot
purple
Scylla.
Pot.
It's purple pot.
Whatever. Red buff, purple pot. Believe.
I will bet you any amount of money in the world that Denial steals back harpies.
Well, yeah.
I mean, that's just...
Well, it also depends
how strong that early
is.
It
also kind of relies on Denial also picking someone in the solo lane who's going to be very strong as well.
Which they will. I mean, Baskin has only, outside of Loki, he's run just tanky. He's run the Guan Yus, he's run the Hercules.
They just need something with a decent amount of clear. Yep. That's it. So they can shove it up, and then you can kind of see Meerkat get put in the same spot as him and, Bickham last game, right? I mean, Meerkat was stuck at his tower, and Bickham was still just there with him because they got outshoved. I mean, it was all about Denial.
Sobek locked in. Another hybrid pick. We've seen Meerkat play this before, but it could still go to the support role, and it's going to be a Loki. Okay, so that's the other guy. They're looking for that split push strat. That's how they won against Eager. They weren't really winning team fights clearly. They were finding picks, and Loki was just all over the place, taking their Phoenixes, and it's going to be a Ram. So
I'm not sure about this.
Cabrakan's job is to get his team to late game, because once Ram comes online, he has an auto attack. Ram versus Xbalanque is very close late game.
Yeah.
They both are very late game hunters.
Yeah, the big difference, though, is that Rama, he has to clear the wave right in front of his own archers, but he also has an ultimate that takes him out of combat and does copious amounts of damage.
It's these so Denial loves slippery picks. They like a team comp where you can't just walk someone down. So it's going to be a Vamana solo Sobek support.
Big baby. Okay. So Vamana will be joined by Batz going into the solo lane off the beginning versus the Cabrakan and the Loki.
They're going to be able to outclear them.
Oh, yeah. I mean...
Well, no, because Loki's going to be able to group up the minions, and then Xing's going to be able to them. It should be pretty close.
Should be. But my question is Vamana going to start off with hand 1 or hand 2?
Hand 1.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And we've been seeing a lot of hand 2s
He's going to
today.
go Bluestone. So Vamana's actually incredibly mana intensive. It's very... You can't spam his abilities. Blue buff isn't even enough, and it's going to be Bluestone hand 1. And then he's going to go wards early on. He's going to place his wards, and then he's going to back, and he's going to get potions.
Man, screw the wards. You don't need vision.
That's why you lose your games.
No, I lose my games because I'm bad. But on the Xbox One, I never lose, so shut your mouth.
Look at Denial. They know what's going to happen. They know that they did not draft their... You're not going to out-Denial. That's just not going to happen. You're not going to...
We've seen EFK do it.
You're not going to... Well, you're not going to get level 1 kills against Denial. They are the kings of that.
You can just see it too, right?
They know when they don't have the advantage.
Yeah, they're like, okay, guys, let's just sit at the tower and then make them retreat back to their lane. The real trickery is when you hide in the back of the Harpies and you're just waiting and you get the Sobek pluck them back in there, and then bam, done.
That's dirty.
But no one ever does it because it's really stupid. Xing here, making sure he gets at least one ward down there, and you'll be happy to know what they're starting off with. But for cognitive gaming, well, they know exactly what the Loki's going to start off with.
Denial's scared of the invade, so they're just going to 3-camp instead here. They're actually they're going to 3-camp. They were worried about the invade simply because of how weak Loki is early on. They're going to
And also, he doesn't
here.
start Hand of the Gods.
Yeah.
It's very similar to why you don't see mages in the solo lane as well as, we've seen hunters there, but now that people have realized, like, oh, wow, we can't invade them because they don't have hand, right?
I'm surprised that Mace did the blue as well. Xing's probably going to go with him to mid. That's going to be my guess, because Mace can't just walk. Yeah, so they're going to have to rotate Xing to this mid lane with Mace because it's not safe for him to come. Additionally, this might be more XP. I actually don't know.
Well, the Crush will zone him out just a bit, and they'll lose half of a wave here, and they will be able to secure the final 2 archers. As now Xing will continuously jump, and now Batz, a.k.a. Bickham, will be looking to make his presence known here in the mid lane.
So I take back that thing where I said I would bet any money that Denial steals back Harpies.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know they were going to draft Loki solo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So-
you did.
No, I'm not.
You, called it at the beginning.
I said there's a chance he runs that, but he normally runs Warriors. So this is actually going to be a very good XP for Mace to the Face and Xing here. They're able to get 3 major camps and a back Harpy before a minute 30.
Yep. And now they're probably going to lose just a couple of minions here in this wave as Baskin now, he's going up against the Vamana, and well, Vamana, he's a simple kind of guy, right? He likes sitting in lane, farming up, and then seeing you when you're level 15 and he's level 20 at the Gold Fury.
Both of these players just want to farm to the late game, but Meerkat is going to have control against the Loki early on, and that's important for Meerkat to try and bully him out. He can't let Baskin rotate.
Swinging into the duo lane here, Mr. Bronx Bomber. Rocking the, I like to call it the arrow skin.
The arrow skin? Okay, I can get behind that.
Yeah, you see? He takes off the mask. He's Oliver Queen. I know. It's one of my favorite shows as well. He's a couple minions away here from getting level 4, and they're just a little bit behind here, and the clear definitely favoring Homie FA and Famous Hate.
Yeah, it should be about even clear, but it doesn't really matter here. It's really about the presence of Sobek, and that Geb cannot get out of position or else he risks getting plucked. Their clear is about the same, but you can't risk fighting a Sobek, because if you get plucked, you're dead.
And on top of that, I mean, Shadowkey really, he has to save his Hand of the Gods here as well, because mid-Harpies are coming up in 15 seconds, and Bickham's going to be able to secure the right side.
I'm surprised.
You can see the rotation of the Sobek.
I'm surprised he didn't try and kill Baskin there.
Well, we'll see what the members of Denial try to do here. They should have the secure as well. And now here comes the pluck. It's going to be up there. Tail Whip's going to disrupt him a bit. Fear No Evil's going to be here as well. Shadow Q in a lot of trouble. I'm a Monster was able to help it out a bit, but he can't fight in this team fight. And now Bickham trying to make it out with his life, and he has done so, but maybe Bronx Bomber in the sky. There's one.
Oh,
yeah,
if he hit that, Bronx just words.
Yeah, form sentences.
He was not able to find the last night, but if he did, and it looks like Denial's going to see
top 5 play of the week.
Yeah, if he was able to, #1 play if he was able to find that.
Yeah.
But an important thing, though, is I'm a Monster missed. And that's the weakness of Scylla and the team comp they've drafted is they don't have setup for I'm a Monster. That's why when they drafted it, I said, I don't know if I like this. Normally you want a Thor or a support like Geb or a support like Sylvanas who have these huge, they make players stand in place. They have Fear No Evil there, but it pushes people. It's not easy to hit.
No. I mean, sure, she can maybe try to set up with the trajectory of Sobek pluck, right?
You can, but it's not. Pool.
Yeah, you're not looking for that. You want to do as much damage as you can, and you know, they really don't have it. You're right. They don't, and that's definitely going to be the hardship here. And big thing about Scylla, you kind of rely on I'm a Monster.
Yes,
it can change team fights instantly. There's never a time where you can count a Scylla out of a game. Because I'm a Monster.
If she can find
right now, it does 400 damage, not including anything else.
Yeah, and then if she can find the resets, it changes teams. Scylla is that god where you always have a comeback mechanic.
Yeah.
See a lot of just farming over in this solo lane.
It scales with individual skill.
Yes, it does.
No.
That's why Stealth won the World Championships with it.
Nah, it's because he played Zhong Kui.
He played Scylla in the final game.
Yeah, I know. Zhong Kui, though.
Shadow Q getting the best of the warding battle there against Homie FA.
Dude, 2 levels behind is the Scylla.
Yeah. I mean,
that's tough.
He didn't get mid camps. He got poked out, and he didn't. So he missed 2 waves, both mid camps, and Mace to the Face had a better start getting 3 jungle camps because he was splitting with Xing.
Yeah. I actually want to see how far away he is from actually hitting level 7. We could swing in on the Scylla. And you can see it, yeah, she's a couple creeps, but across the way, I mean, Agni's probably about halfway. They're going to try to sneak this away. Now they're just trying to get this ward down and try to bring the members of Denial over a bit. But as you can tell, I mean, he's halfway already. 3/4 of the way to level 9. That's going to put Whirlwind 2 levels behind still, and he's going to have to crawl out of this hole somehow.
He's got Doomorb online, so he's going to want to try and get that stacked up before the next fight. Mace to the Face going the safe route, starting up Boots, likely going to finish it. He's not going Doomorb either, like Whirlwind did last game.
Famous Hate rocking out to the Heartseeker?
Yeah.
Instead of Debo?
I mean, it's risky, but he thinks that he's going to be able to play safe until he gets Aussie online. And Aussie's likely to be his next item over Boots.
We'll see what Whirlwind can do here mid-Harpies. They've started up. Hand of the Gods clean. Denial didn't want to try to fight that in the slightest bit. Xing now trying to jump his way over there. Got the speed buff on him, so he will get there a little bit quicker.
Cog doesn't have the timers on these. They're not up for about 20 more seconds. Xing gonna get plucked though.
Yeah, Xing, he does have the Geb shield here. Fear No Evil will be good. Xing now still trying to run away. Meerkat will be here, clear the path. We'll follow it up. That's going to be Crush, and somehow Xing managing to stay alive. I'm a Monster just off the mark. Baskin to the face, able to find one. Bickham gets a kill. Beads out of the Sobek pull, and Crush will hit, and then just like that, Xing will bring the cabinets down on him as they are looking to get more kills. Baskin now, he's on Scylla. The Sentinel will save her life, but the I Am a Monsters are just, they can't find them.
That's one of the weaknesses of Scylla, is she is very reliant on those I Am a Monsters, and the team comp Cog drafted doesn't have good setup, so unless she's hitting her roots every single time on the target she needs, it's going to be hard for her to hit them. Once again, twice, Cog lost team fights because I'm a Monster not able to find anything. They did grab a kill there, but it's not going to be enough. Whirlwind needs to find these hits for Cog to make bigger impacts on these team fights.
A Witchblade is going to be finished up here by Xing in the jungle, an item we haven't seen much of in Season 2, really just because it got nerfed, Kevin. It got nerfed very hard, but, I mean, it will help him with his base stats, right?
Yes.
which is really like kind of the appeal of it.
He's just trying to tank up. He has the base numbers on his abilities. Cabrakan hits very hard for a Guardian, and that's why he's able to go these tanky items. And his goal this game is to not die. Last game, in these mid-game T-fights, as Cabrakan, he was dying. He was getting picked off. He survived the first one, but then he started falling.
Would have Winged Blade been a little bit better?
No, you don't really need it because you have movement speed with your one. There's really no need to go Winged Blade early on. And
they do have a lot of slows, though.
On COG? I mean, yeah, they have a couple. I just don't think it's enough to warrant it.
Okay. The clear coming out here from Mace to the Face. Shoes of the Magi finish up for the Agni across the way. We'll see what Scylla goes into, but I can summarize it in the fact that it will be Shoes of the Magi. I don't think we've seen a single CDR Scylla ever.
No, the idea is you just want to do a ton of damage, but if you do go CDR boots...
You're a one-trick pony.
If you do go CDR boots, it's not that bad of a thing, because in Scylla's kit, her passive is, when she maxes out an ability, she gets 20 extra power. So she's getting 80 extra power that other mages don't get, and that normally compensates for going CDR boots over power
Gives
boots.
her a little bit more sentinels, a couple crushes, but for the most part, people like Scylla for one reason, and that's...
I'm a monster.
Yes. Player damage here. Vamana leading the way here with 3,200. Yet clear the path on 4 people in that last engagement, but did not go their favor. Harpies going the way of denial on the left side. Right side, they're delayed. We might see ourselves another fight here. But if game number 1 was telling of anything, well, don't go anywhere, guys, because this is going to be a long one.
Xing setting up for these right camps here. They're not up for about 30 more seconds. We see Meerkat. We saw him top damage charts, and that's what he needs to do. He's just trying to farm out against Baskin to the face, but Baskin's trying to farm as well here, and he's already got Heartseeker maxed.
The decoy will come down there, and now Loki's at the point where he's able to full clear, pretty much. Well, not full clear depending on the minion wave, because he's got the brutes that'll kind of leave him with a little bit of health, but now this is where he starts to shine.
Yes.
Is you'll start to see him go in between tier 1 and tier 2, throw the decoy out there and just try to steal all of the buffs away. But it's very risky to still do that. Clearing the wave is going to be Mace to the Face here as Gab will rotate. Witchblade finished. CDR boots again for Shadow Q, and he's definitely favoring them over the Reinforced Greaves, Kevin.
Yeah, I mean, his job is to protect his team. Xing's the initiator, so he wants to get up as many shields as he can. He's using his Cataclysm occasionally aggressively, but a lot of times it's defensively or just in team fights in general. He could be in trouble here, though, as he's going to get plucked. And
the crush will come over the wall, just off the mark here. Cataclysm. A little bit wasted there, and now just like that, Xing's in the middle of it. Baskin's there as well. I'm a monster. Well, Xing is the monster here as Crush will slow him down. Bronx Bomber hitting the auto attacks, and now Famous 8. He's trying to kill the Loki, but he's just so fast. Waiting to go invisible is going to be Baskin, and now the stun comes out as well. They have the CC. Famous 8 in a lot of trouble here as Mace to the Face will clean this one up. He gets him with the dot, and now Scylla just going to stare at this Gab, and oh my god, he ran right into it, no!
Bronx held it for so long there. Great play by him. Big Baby comes out, but he's not going to have the damage to chase anyone down. Mace to the Face, full life, going to dash away. But
Bronx.
A back and forth fight, but Denial, the only one to come out with kills.
Bronx Bomber ends up hitting him once, just kind of making the Colossal Fury stay a little bit longer and clear the path. Keeps him safe. As now we will watch as Denial still showing. Shout out to our guy, Mr. Nabil, with the best cosplay ever of Vamana.
Oh man, that was great.
I saw the little Monoscan and I was just like, oh yeah, Nabil did cosplay of him. Oh man. Devo gloves fully stacked up here for the Rama across the way. Only 25 stacks in the Xbalanque with the Heartseeker. He might watch this game back and go, maybe Devo gloves were the way to go.
Hey, it's working.
It's early.
It's early.
Definitely early. I can't believe that snipe. I can't believe he hit that.
Bronx Bombers is one of the best Rama snipers in the game, next to probably Moex, and we saw Shaggy Shank.
You would say Moex first.
Of course, I can't not say Moex.
You're not going to give it to Allied?
No.
The Senpai?
Not even close.
Oh, come on, Bray.
Xing,
Homie FA in a lot of trouble. Down he goes, and Mace to the Face gets himself a guaranteed kill. And that right there, this wall that you're seeing right at the mid-harpies that Xing creates with his ultimate is so good.
I mean, that's why you pick this Cabrakan, because when you fight in the jungle, you're able to keep these players at bay. Denial, though, going to start up Gold Fury, and Xing just trying to zone here.
Well, Sacred Monkey will be good. That's going to be Fear No Evil right on the Gold Fury. Gets it reset. Cataclysm is going to be even better. Meerkat now trying to chase him down. And now Bronx Bomber up in the sky. He's going to try to attack. Oh my god, he finds a Scylla standing still. And Scylla's going to pay with her life as now Meerkat in between two. Colossal Fury comes out and Baskin's going to try to kill him. But he's got to be careful of the AoE damage. And now he's on him. He wants this Vamana dead. And he hears the call. It's saying, let's get Famous 8. And now he's actually going to give it up and head back.
Cog able to find a couple kills there and trade out.
Yeah.
Cog still staying relevant. The gold is only 309. It's by all means, this is an incredibly close game.
Oh my god, look at this. Baskin, he went back and he actually teleported in and he was looking for the kill on the infiltrator Loki, trying to hope that someone was doing it. But
that's actually one of the strengths of teleport on Loki, because a lot of times you can just teleport to these wards after team fights happen and find kills in the back line that you're normally not going to get. Yeah. You're not going to be able to chase them down there. Baskin is a very good Loki. We saw him win out versus Eager basically because of him.
A lot of damage on the side of the Agni here as Bancrofts are going to be finished up. The next he'll be looking for is a little bit of penetration. He'll probably go Spear the Magus just because it synergizes so very well with his passive. And then at that point, Scylla, who's already extremely squishy, she puts herself in a harder spot here, which when you go back to the World Championship, when we talk about Stealth playing Scylla, he had one build. Warlock Sash. Get it stacked up, make me a little bit healthier.
It was a different game, though.
2,200 health on Scylla is no joke.
Dumor wasn't as strong back then.
No, it was the same strength, right? It just wasn't as cheap.
Yeah, but, I mean, now you can get it online so fast. It only requires about 8 stacks to be worth the gold, to be gold efficient, and it is very hard to fall under 8 stacks unless you're repeatedly dying as you come back.
Now, I'm not knocking the Dumor pickup. I'm knocking the fact that Scylla, without Warlock Sash, is incredibly squishy.
Yes. But
I mean, she's only like a 12-year-old girl.
That's all mages, to be fair. Denial, though, they're going to do the same thing they did last time, start up gold.
And they're still on it here. It's right in execution range. Denial Esports able to secure it. Bickham now trying to find him. And Meerkat, he's on the backside. Cataclysm will slow this one down. And Xing's really trying to help out Mace to the face with a beautiful Aegis in the middle of it all. I am a monster hit. The second reset off the mark, and Meerkat's in the middle of it, throwing down the AoE autos. Xing now is going to be slowed, and down he goes. Famous Hate, and the members of COG will receive a deicide, and I think they're going straight for this Fire Giant.
Now, I don't know if they have the damage yet there. And
they also don't have their hand 3.
Yeah,
never mind.
They were debating, I think, but that's a win for COG. And
Huge
you saw
win.
The power of I'm a Monster. Finally, Herwind is able to connect and find a kill. He got the reset, wasn't able to find a second hit, but that's the power. When you can just take someone from 50% to 0, eliminating Mace to the face. Mace wasn't able to get out any more stunts in that fight, and COG wins it clean. Herwind needs to keep hitting them, and COG is going to keep winning.
Well, I know it's not the target he wants to kill. Herwind doesn't want to kill Xing, but Xing naturally roots himself when he's hitting tremors. So if he's ever low and I'm a Monster hasn't been blown,
for sure,
you're always going to see it do it. And now it'll get to the point when he'll finish up the Soul Reaver way later in this game if it gets to that point, and he'll just see him crush.
Yeah, we just saw Bronx, though, try and snipe out Bickham, but Bickham able to get the distance on it. Just a little bit too short of a range for Bronx to find the last hit. Denial, though. They're down 3K gold. Baskin to the face, once again, not having the same impact that Meerkat's having.
No. But, you know, if anything can be told, I mean, last game, Baskin did just as fine at the end of the game, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's getting to that late game Loki, though, or it's getting the split push Loki to be useful. So far, he hasn't even got his tower under half, and Meerkat has taken out the right tower. So this teleport Loki hasn't been useful yet. He has 3 kills. He's been able to pick up some kills, but he's still 2 levels behind.
I go back to, I don't want to say greedy play, but I go back to the play when, you know, he teleported in and, well, Bronx Bomber has got Famous Hate right in his face, and Famous Hate clears him up. But the Loki went looking for a pick onto Famous Hate, and Famous Hate already had backed, and he wasted that teleport. Yep. In that time, he could have teleported into solo lane and just completely taken away the tier 1, which is exactly what Loki's job is when you draft him on a team is, hey, split push and do your thing. Not, hey, try to assassinate this guy who might or might not be there after our entire team's dead.
It's a risk he tried to take, and it just didn't pay out for him.
Yep. But I think that's really the deviation here between why he doesn't have the tower and why we see Meerkat actually have it.
I mean, Meerkat is going to win this lane until... I mean, even when it gets late game, Baskin's not going to be able to fight Meerkat. He's going to be too tanky, especially with that Smithy's Hammer online.
I would have loved to see a Mystical Mail come out from him.
Baskin's just going to have to play and try and find squishies.
I would have loved to see a Mystical Mail come out here on the Vamana.
It's very strong against Loki. He's able to basically spot them out in their invis.
But he does have the Executioner. And now from this point on, he's got Sprint 3 as well. And this is a little bit more DPS-oriented Vamana, which means, well, he'll go into Colossal Fury and whatever the hell he wants, and then he'll press Sprint 3, and then it's just Stomp City.
That's actually one of the strengths of this Cabrakan jungle is warriors right now in the solo lane are building so tanky, and their best itemization is against physical, and you're almost always going to have a physical on the other end of your solo lane, and typically buying those tanky items is going to be effective against the junglers as well. Now, he has physical protection against a Cabrakan. Not going to be useful. Cabrakan's still going to get his damage off.
Even though, I mean, Cabrakan, he doesn't have a lot of damage. He's just got 60 from the boots, right? But that's still enough.
His base numbers. His base numbers are so strong, and the protection you're getting from the Mystical Mails and from the Smithy's Hammer isn't applying to the Cabrakan.
Agni and Cabrakan going to go ahead and clear this one up, and you can really just see it. It's slowing down here, and Gold Fury is getting ready to come up, and it's really going to be one team fight that could really open this one up. Last game we saw it was a Gold Fury fight that ended up leading directly into a Fire Giant, and Crocodile in trouble. He's going to pluck himself out of this one as the Agni Bomb will be just off the mark.
This is going the exact same as it was last time, where Denial needs to try and get to late game. But at the same time, Cog has a much better late game comp than they did last time. Scylla, if she can find the huge Ima monsters, fantastic. Also, Vamana, disgusting at locking down carries late game. Geb's not going to be able to protect Mace to the face if Mace doesn't go Combat Blink.
It's
and
really...
he doesn't. He actually went Aegis.
Oof. Well, I mean, Vamana is the, like, premier solo late game hyper carry.
For sure.
That's what he's best at.
It's because he's an auto attack based warrior, and that's what happens. Is auto attack based gods, they win out in the late game. And Cog, they're taking advantage of the gold lead they have and the experience lead they have. They find another Gold Fury, 4K now ahead.
It looks like it's going to continue to grow. This Denial is not sure what they want to do.
Oh,
Famous Hate spots a 4-level difference here on Bronx Bomber, and sorry, Bronx, you're dead. I don't know when Famous Hate got a 4-level advantage, but great googly moogly. He also has a fully stacked passive as Baskin takes out Heroin. And now it's not done yet as Meerkat's looking to get a return kill here. He wants to take out Shing. Fear No Evil wasted on him as well, and Shing's just so tanky. And he gets the stun, but the beads come out as well. Geb Shield comes on him, really trying to slow him down, and Cataclysm slows it up a bit, but Agni will now try to turn this, and Meerkat, he's still chasing forward on this, and it wasn't worth.
This is the strength of that Cabrakan, but look at Loki, so deep. Homie Efe, gonna try and find the kill here. Does he have any abilities up? He does. Can we take a look at Homie Efe?
No.
Oh, he baited him. Oh, but he read it with the overhand smash. Homie Efe.
He got it. Look at this. Look at this.
Be up. Two's out of range. Two's out of range.
Look at this. He's got him. The jukes. Ready? Oh, he's so smart. Oh! Oh, Homie Efe, you smart little girl, you.
Homie Efe is a boy.
Okay. Whatever.
Bronx Bombers, though, 4 levels behind, and this is... We saw him behind last game, but not this far. You take a look at his build. He's got Executioner online, but Crit started up for Famous Hate, and he's got 6 kills. His passive is max. He has 30 extra physical power. Sprint 3 online, Beats 3 online. He's hitting like a truck right now, and there's nothing Bronx can do about it.
Not just any truck. A Mack truck.
A Mack truck.
We're not talking about like a Toyota Tacoma.
Fire Giant.
Fire Giant getting ready to get at least teased with here, as Shadow Q will be on the far right side, and now we will see as Mace to the face. Well, wow, that was a lot. What does he have? Man, He's got Spear of the Magus finally finished, but I did not think he was going to be able to put out that kind of damage. But, you know, Scylla, her base stats, she only gets 30 magical protections, and that's it. It doesn't scale from that point on, and you can see he's hitting her for true damage.
Yep. Once that Spear is online, you're hitting for, you're penetrating all of her defenses, and Scylla, who has such low base health and such low health scaling, not able to take 2 Agni bombs to the face like that. She had to back after just coming back to lane.
They're going to run over some wards here. They were hoping that Denial would start up that speed buff, and Denial says, well, guys, don't start off the speed buff, and you will see the split push Loki come out in full effect here as Baskin, he's taking the tier 2, and now he's shoving the duo lane as well, and it is only a matter of time before he is able to get that and then the tier 2 as well. As you just really you can't how do you play against it? Do you account for it, or do you just let it happen?
You have to have someone with teleport, which Vamana's gone sprint 3, or someone who can rotate incredibly fast. That, or you just have to take the fight. So you have to realize that Loki's split pushing, we have to fight now and we have to win. The bad thing is when you lose the fight and the Loki is still split pushing, that is devastating for your team. And that's the strength of split push Loki. And keeping Vamana at bay, Meerkat's the biggest player on their team outside of Famous Hate, and he's being taken out of the fight by a Loki.
I mean, Meerkat actually is on the aggressive side of things. I mean, he's really trying to get in there. But it is... Oof. The Fire Giant has started it up, and, you know, he's got Sprint 3. He's 3-1-3. Meerkat really... He needs to be a part of this.
Yeah, and he hasn't walked over a ward yet, but Denial definitely knows where he is at. They're going to focus on him.
Oof. Here comes the Darkest Nights here. Colossal Fury out. Lurking in the waters, will slow up Mitch to the face. Crushing down is the Vamana. And down goes the Agni here as Bronx Bomber's up in the sky. He's looking for it. Isn't able to find it. He will roll, though. Finds a Scylla. The cripple's good. And the Aegis will put her right in place. And now he's going to go ahead, hit his steroid. He's going to shred through Bickham here. One more perfect auto attack to seal the deal. The turnaround cripple on Meerkat as well. Meerkat forced all the way out of this one, and now he's going to be able to just still throw down the damage. He gets slowed there by Vamana, but not enough to really do anything.
Well, it looked like such a clean fight for Cognitive Gaming turned sour. They still come out on top 3 for 2 in kills, but the fact that Whirlwind and Bickham were focused down while the rest of the team is chasing kills, bad look for Cog.
Yeah.
They need to be fighting as a team. They got a great pick on Mace to the face, and then they got a fantastic pick on Xing, but after that, you just saw Bronx Bombers just for 30 seconds just beating on Bickham and Whirlwind, and no one was there to help them.
Yep. 15 seconds, Baskin will be down here. We are 25 minutes into this game, and Meerkat has a Deathbringer.
I am very surprised at that. Typically, you'll see more items that are going to be more useful in team fights. That is, Meerkat is trying to find someone and kill them. He wants to proc that RNG. He wants to proc that percentage. Now, Rage is actually better DPS, but there's always the adage of, if I crit, I am almost one-shotting you.
Yep. The Meerkat now. We'll get to see what he's going to have in store for us in this next team fight. Famous Hate.
He can solo this.
Yeah, oh yeah, he can definitely solo this, and he's tanking it ever so perfectly as now Shadowkey will come up there, and Xing will force the blink out as well, and now he's going to be in the middle of it, but they really can't dump a bunch into Xing because of how tanky he is, and the Stone Shield's going to put him in the middle, and Xing, he's probably okay with being here. Now Shadowkey will blink in, he's waiting for it, and he didn't even burn anything. He still has Cataclysm online, so Ultimate's still readily available for Shadowkey. He just blinked in, and everyone from COG was like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah.
Is he going to do it?
They made a lot of those mistakes last game where they burned everything on Xing. They're making better decisions, I think, in game 2 here. They're like, we cannot burn Fear No Evil on Xing just like we did last game, because that allowed Denial to find kills in the back line and then really come back late game.
Well, the Scylla is 1-4-7. She's got Chronos Pendant. She's only got 34 stacks in Doom Orb, and now we will see the Loki Baskin just go directly into the duo lane and just be a thorn in the side of Cognitive Gaming. And you can see that Vamana is forced to be the one to rotate.
He has to.
Which is really unfortunate for him.
Yeah, there's not much they can do. And once again, Vamana, Meerkat, this huge god that they need for these team fights, is out of it.
And he doesn't have the teleport up. It's going to be 55 seconds before it comes back up on cooldown. And Scylla is even lingering around. And if Baskin knew that she was there, he would probably go in on her 100% and just one-shot her because he can.
Yeah, I mean, she has beads 3. She only has Aegis 1. Baskin, if he can get 3 seconds alone with the Scylla, Scylla dies.
I mean, look at all the penetration he has. He has Jotuns and Titans, and now he's going to be going into Transcendence as it's completed. Then he'll top it off with hi-rez just to give him a little bit more extra damage. It's going to be tough. And Shang was trying to set this up. He was trying to come in, blink, get the stun on the Meerkat, and they were going to try to burst him down. And so one team's going to start up the Gold Fury, and the other team's going to go ahead and start up the Fire Giant. I bet you guys know at home which one's better. It's the Fire Giant. Yep,
and you see Cog immediately pull off of Gold Fury. They know, Famous Hate knows he's too important to this team comp. He cannot be on Gold Fury while Denial is doing Fire Giant.
And this is exactly what they want. Baskin now is just going to sit here and decoy up and just keep pushing this tier 1. And Meerkat, well, he's actually doing the exact same thing.
Yep, both are actually important to their team comps, but they're just going to trade out. But there's a teleport.
In comes the Tremors here. He's going to get flung backwards. He's going to get chained up here by the Scylla. Scylla barely scratching Cabrakan at all. And now here comes. They're still on the Fire Giant here. That's going to be one going to Baskin. Crush will hit as well. The jump did not hit. And now he's still looking for it. Overhand smash is going to be good, and Bickham's able to clean him up. In comes Rama, though. Rama's able to clean up one. He's got a guy lurking in the water, and he's not afraid to use it, as that's going to be... Is that what's 2 perfect auto attacks? Make that 3 perfect ultimates from Rama. In comes Colossal Fury. Vamana in the mix of it all, trying to really peel for the Crocodile, but it's just not going to be enough as it is down, and he is also out of mana. This fight went so far south for Cognitive Gaming that now they will find themselves losing the Fire Giant as well, and possibly a Deicide here, and that is not what they were hoping for.
Deicide 5 for 2 and a Fire Giant. Once again, Bronx Bombers and Loki. This is the strength of Loki against Cog's team comp. He was just able to burn Famous Hate in the back line, and there was nothing Famous can do. Who's going to peel for him? It has to be Sobek, because unless Fear No Evil is used just to peel a Loki, they're good. They have no peel.
Yeah, it's the dream for Loki. Loki just wants to come in 0 to 100 right away and kill them all, and then, oh, by the way, I'm back again. And I'm doing the exact same thing, this time just without my ult.
He is going so aggressive. He's actually elected to go hi-rez Lament.
As you should.
I mean, normally you see Magi's, but he's not even caring about that. Baskin knows that he's going to be able to find someone in the back line that really Cog doesn't have a ton of CC to fight him
hi-rez
off.
Lament, in all fairness as well, is also like an item created for Loki.
It's perfect for him.
Your next auto attack does additional damage. Like, come on.
Based on your physical power, which is what you stack on Loki. Additionally, it has CDR on it. You're capping out your CDR at 40% when you combine it with Jotuns. Another fantastic item for Loki.
Yep. 463 crits here. And the Bronx Bomber, well, he's turned this one around. He's 6-6-5 is now, it's been a tough game for Famous Hate. He got 6 kills so early, and he got that extra 30 power, but his team just hasn't really formed around him.
He can't get picked by Loki in the back line again. If he does, they're gonna lose.
Yeah. I
mean, just look at that. I mean, Ram's already turned around. He's doing more damage now, and you see Bronx, even if his auto attacks aren't that strong, he's finding these huge snipes in team fights.
Well, here comes the push here. They have another minute 35 left on their Fire Giant, and they're going to try to take everything they can. And Loki, again, Baskin, still being a thorn in their side, and that forces Vamana back to deal with it, to protect it. And then in the mid lane, you got Shang, and everyone's going to go ahead and rotate out there, and that's exactly what's happening here. Is the overhand smash will be used to clear out the wave, and look at that. Baskin's still just lingering around. He's actually going to get spotted by the Vamana. He could be in trouble here. He dodges to clear the path. This is all on the top side of your UI. Is now Shang will be here to give him some peel, and just like that, Vamana in a lot of trouble. Blocked off by the Cabrakan ultimate as well, and My God, if that wasn't perfect.
I mean, that was perfect combination, and Denial just burned Meerkat before he could even get into his ultimate. You saw the big baby came out, but too much damage. Baskin to the face has so much penetration. He's able to burn through Meerkat so fast.
Xing now, the initiation here. Fear no evil as well will come down. They're trying to save everything they can. They don't want to lose this game. The cripple just off the mark. Beads popped as well. And now they're able to take out one. The dot damage. There's now Bickham will clean up. That's going to be the Loki. And now the question is whether or not Denial will fall back. Based on last game, I would say yes, but this game's been a little bit different.
They need to kill Famous Hate or Herwind here. 3 carries left alive for Cog.
They're on the Phoenix here. Bickham now starting to push up a bit. Xing now has him in the tremors. He jumps away. And now they're still just trying to carve down this middle Phoenix. And were they able to get it? Yeah, they were.
Yeah, okay, Denial's playing such an intelligent game, pushing up multiple lanes with split push Loki, and then they're not focusing on the kills. They want the objectives. They want to keep the pressure on. They know once Bronx Bombers gets Deathbringer online, he's going to be hitting just as hard as Famous Hate.
Yeah.
And 3K now in the lead. Look at that huge swing. And just in the past 7 minutes for Denial.
So, is that a sentry ward of cognitive gaming by the purple buff? Right there?
That's a Denial ward.
Okay.
That's a Denial
so,
sentry.
With that ward being over there on the left side, what's most likely going to happen is that Denial will be sending 4 people down the right side, mainly because the Fire Giant's up, and we'll most likely see the Loki go ahead and split push. But the question they have to answer is, would they rather have 5 people for the Fire Giant? That answer is always yes.
But they have teleport on Loki. Split pushing late game can get risky, especially when the game is this close. We're basically dead even in gold, but Bronx Bombers is once again going to start up this Fire Giant. Homie FA rotating in, and Shadow Q is going to play defense.
Shred through this, man. He's going to go ahead and only take 1 tick from it. It's at half, and Shadow Q now is going to turn back in. And just like this, Homie FA is going to get blocked off here, lurking in the water. We'll try to keep him alive for a bit. And they stop attacking the Fire Giant here, and he should be in execution range. And there it is. Denial gets it. Loki on him. Famous Hate in trouble. Famous Hate forced to jump away, and he's able to take out one. And now we will see as Denial will try to turn the tide here. The cripple will come down. Fear no evil is going to be good, but the Geb shield's even better as they just kill another member. And Bronx Bomber really putting on a show for us here as he's hit so many of these cripples, which really can change a team fight.
Yeah, and you just see the strength of lifesteal on these hunters. Bronx Bombers and Famous Hate able to fight through their aggressors and find kills. Now we see Denial with Fire Giant, 4 alive, pushing down this right Phoenix.
1, 3, and 13, I think is the Scylla. 1, 5, and 8. Not the
Herwin's
best.
not able to stay alive, and it's been the same
He's had
story
no
as last game.
he has no setup, man. It's so difficult. The fact that he was even able to bring home a kill with 1 IMA monster is insane.
Yeah, I mean,
that's like hitting
rough.
free-handed double taps all the time with Thor.
It's rough for him. Homie FA gonna miss a pluck here. Denial, they're playing smart. They're looking just for the Phoenix. They're not trying to aggress here unless someone gets out of position.
Homie FA about half health now as now Xing will stop this fight from happening.
That's
Crush
huge.
is beautiful, but Agni bombs are even better. Shadow Q comes right in the mix, gets himself a kill. Meerkat segregated from his teammates. Bulwark not going to help you out. I'm a Monster's going to be there. Will he be able to bring it home? He's not, and he eats a cabinet right into the face as Xing says, sit on the sidelines, Mr. Heroin, for 60 seconds.
Yep, and Shadow Q gonna find another kill on the back line. It looks like Denial's gonna take this clean 2-0. It really wasn't clean. It was 2 incredibly close games from both teams. They both looked good.
Yeah. It's really good to see that cognitive gaming has improved after, losing Jigs to a coaching role and everything else. But really, the big story here is the fact that Denial has completely evolved. No longer are they this team full of gimmicks and trying weird stuff just to kind of get in their enemy team's head. Now it's, okay, you guys want to go Guardians? We got Guardians for you.
Yeah, and Meerkat played that fantastically in the solo. He always beat out Baskin early, but the Loki split push basically disoriented.
You got to cater to it.
Too.
You have to handle it. But we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the first blood here. This game, a little bit longer than the average, but, well, you can see Rama is going to go ahead and bring this one home, and he had some great snipes throughout this game. Cataclysm is just about the dream for hunters as it guarantees the auto attacks, but look at this snipe.
We thought this would have been a top 5 play. He looks for Heroin, doesn't. If he hit Heroin there, that would have been probably play of the year or play of the year of the split for sure.
Play of the year?
Split.
Already going to give it the year?
Split, but he missed it, so it doesn't matter.
Would you say the year up until this point?
I said split.
No, but I'm giving you a second chance. Would you have said year up until this point, or just the split?
Split.
Okay.
How many
so
times
after 3 weeks, okay, that's cool.
Split.
Jungle control camps. Nope. Not time yet.
No, but I mean, early game we saw Denial have full control of the mid harpies. It wasn't back and forth like it was in game one.
No, not at all.
But Cog still, they were doing great. They snuck 2 Gold Furies once again. They were winning these early game team fights. They were about 8,000 ahead. But then once late game hit, I think the biggest problem is Famous Hate wasn't able to do anything.
What's the okay? So when you're watching cognitive gaming play, what's the one thing that's sticking out to you where you're just like they have to work on this?
Heroin.
Yeah,
Heroin, and this game 2 was team comp, right? He didn't have any setup for I'm a Monster, so he's basically free hitting them. And if players have boots 3, even if they're in the dead center, if they're not slowed, they're just able to walk out. They also had an Aegis on Agni. There was way too much for Heroin. It was too hard for Heroin to try and hit them in the team fights. You see when Cloud9 used to run Scylla, they don't really do it too much. They had the Thor, they had the Geb, they had so much setup for it. You can't run Scylla without setup.
Yep. Well, Mr. Bronx Bomber is going to be your player of the game here. He brought the noise, and we just saw this kill, but I will gladly watch it again just to see how close. I want to see how close he was to hitting the second guy. He had to have been
it was
insanely
like
close.
An inch off, and he played fantastic throughout the whole game. I'm not sure what his final stat line was, but
he should have taken the second shot. I was just looking at it. He should have taken the second one.
The most important thing for Bronx, I think, is the fact that he was making more of an impact than Famous Hate was at 3,000 gold behind.
Look at that.
That can't happen.
Look at that. But he does so much guaranteed damage, and that's really what you want out of your hunter, is just throwing out as much damage as humanly possible. And that's what he did all game.
Yeah, Bronx doesn't miss autos.
Yep. Well, joining us on the call here is going to be Mace to the face, the mid laner for Denial Esports. Mr. Mace, good evening.
Hello.
Or afternoon, rather. It's definitely afternoon, right?
It's definitely
Good
afternoon.
Mace, you guys have completely transformed. You went from a team based around early game to now, well, you guys seem to adore the late game. Talk to me a little bit about this transition.
I don't know if it's anything that we sat down and said, oh, we have to change this. I think it just kind of came about naturally. A lot of people are doing other early game strategies, so ours aren't as effective. And we've just been playing more, getting used to playing with each other as a team, and that's just made our late game a lot better.
Yeah, I'd have to say that Bronx has done a fantastic job of transitioning there. I'm not going to ask you who's better, Mark or Bronx, but Bronx is looking just like Mark was in the spring split. Do you think that too? Is he really the cornerstone for your late game?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's the fact that he plays Hunter is already going to make him amazing for us late game. And Bronx definitely in both of these games did a great job of putting out that consistent damage and really carrying the late game team fights.
One question. Xing picks a god he has fun with, and he just plays that. Is Xing sticking with the Cabrakan, or is he going to get bored of it?
I think Xing's going to stick with it for now. I mean, I know chat saw him feeding a lot, so maybe a few mistakes there, but he likes it, he does well with it, so I didn't see a reason to switch off it quite yet.
Awesome.
All right, Mace, any shout-outs before we let you go?
I'll just give a shout out to our coach Rush. He scouts, I mean, we all scout the team, but he especially scouts the team, checks all of their warding positions, where they walk at level 1. He does a lot for us as a team.
Damn.
That's awesome. Coach is playing a big part in Season 2.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Mace to the face. Well, Adonis, we're not done yet here.
Was that not?
On Saturday, what time is it? It is, my God, it is 4:30. Coming up next, it is going to be Team Solo Mid versus Team Eager. You guys want to make sure you are tweeting this out and telling everyone about this matchup because it's going to be big. Stay tuned.